Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Man, we've got it covered all over today. All the bases are covered this morning. I'm at the SEC tournament in Nashville. Bo is in the studio, and I'm ready to go, guys.
Well, that's good. That's good. I was wondering. You never know. Is Chuck the same Chuck because of travel plans? Is the equipment working? Is he rested? That's the number one thing. I didn't even put that in the right order. The first order of business that we need to know out of the gate is Chuck rested? Is a well-rested Chuck what we have this morning?
I am, as a matter of fact.
You sound like it.
I didn't stay. I didn't go out last night.
Didn't do it.
Got in.
That's a seasoned veteran traveler. You know, a lot of people when they get on the road, a lot of us we want just that first night. You're so excited. You know, there's a honky tonk every 35 feet. Like there's 4 per block. Honky tonk central, man. Nashville. That's what you walk into, and a lot of people, I'm sure, last night stayed up later than they planned to, but not Chuck.
I would imagine that's probably true.
Yeah.
I would imagine that is true.
You're feeling strong and healthy and ready to go this morning.
I am ready to go. I hope you are too.
Are you in a swanky hotel
is.
suite or what?
Well, I wouldn't call it a suite, but it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Hit a good bed.
I don't really worry about you when you travel
I've got
with
the
basketball.
travel thing down.
Yeah, that's
I got
good.
the travel
That's
thing.
good. That's good. Well, we've talked a lot about the tournament already.
I know.
It hadn't even started yet because Cal made a statement the other day that he didn't care about it, and that's making some waves because that's what the world is today. It's waves. It's waves.
Well,
it's what was said
I've
that
seen
we
some
can
of the comments.
react and respond to. We're going to get into all that. And, I guess find out from fans, because today's answer will not be tomorrow's answer, by the way, which is to the question, how many games do you want Arkansas to win before they come home? And whatever you think today will change, as I mentioned yesterday, as soon as they start playing. And it will for the team, too. As soon as they tip the ball off, it's like everybody in the arena that has any sort of rooting interest or is playing in the game wants to win.
It's interesting. I'm always struck by the difference in the outside conversation and the inside conversation. I know what Cal said got a lot of people's attention. I can tell you within the team, though, I was around him a lot yesterday and a little bit last night, and it never came up. I mean, nobody even talked about it. Now, it's one of those unspoken things, and you kind of touched on it right there. When you go to a tournament, is like, how long do we really want to be here? It's that way in a lot of sports when you get to conference tournaments, and I think the first order of business is winning tomorrow. You win tomorrow and take everything from there, and then you play Ole Miss if you beat South Carolina. And when Cal said he didn't care about the tournament, I'm going to tell you how I took that. He just wants his guys to play carefree, not to feel the pressure, not to feel as though they have to win this game, that it's one and done and the season's over. So just go in there and play loose, play carefree, go play basketball. I've watched Kentucky many times in that tournament over the years when he was their coach, and they cared. I promise you that. When they're beating you by 20, they care. And they won a lot of tournaments. So I know a lot of people have a lot to say on it, but I thought it was a good soundbite. That was the thing that I thought more than anything.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong.
No.
And obviously, I don't think they're going to try to lose or play not to win in any game. I mean, that's just first of all, it's a hard thing to do. We talk about teams tanking in the NBA and all that. I mean, as a coach, you can play other guys, or in baseball you can pitch off and throw somebody other than the best guy you have. But like you go out and play a basketball game, it's not like they can. I don't think they're going to start emptying the end of the bench with guys that haven't played all year. That would be about the only way to do it. Otherwise, you're out there asking guys just not to play that hard, and you just don't do that. But in reality, it is such a difficult position that teams are in going into conference tournaments that are already in the field. And some would argue, I mean, there's just controversy every which direction with where Arkansas sits, because we're talking about them being well rested for an NCAA tournament that some wonder if they're even in. Some wonder if they don't beat South Carolina, are they in? We don't have that question. The man, as Chuck has dubbed him, Joe Lenardi, doesn't have that question. The not man, Jerry Palm, doesn't have that question. The other man, Bart Pullman, he's got that question. The other not men also have that question answered with Arkansas is already in. Everybody's got anybody that does bracketology seems to have Arkansas as a lock. And there's 168 of those guys or girls.
Yeah, that's right. I think there's the assumption Arkansas is going to beat South Carolina. I think when people say, let's not get carried away with winning the tournament, they don't mean let's lose to South Carolina. I think that the plan is to beat them. And I can tell you that you're not going to hear anybody say it out loud, but I can also say with a pretty good degree of assuredness that they want to play South Carolina. Those guys want to play them. And they're not unhappy that they're playing them in the first round. And after that, who knows? I mean, Ole Miss is a really good team. I watched them play Tennessee the other night. It's one of the best games I saw all year. That's a really good team. The thing you've got to remember is Arkansas is playing with 7 guys, and that's gonna matter over the when you think about the possibility of 7 guys playing 5 games in 5 days. That's just unthinkable. And I doubt that, you find yourself in that spot. Although, if you're going to be here, you might as well win. Now, one thing I will say about Cal, when he was talking about how they did it at Kentucky, they very seldom had to play before Friday. So for them going in and, winning the tournament was winning 3 games in 3 days, oftentimes with the best team from the regular season. That's, for example, if Arkansas were to get to Friday, they'd play Auburn then. It's still that way for the top 4. But that's where they were a lot. So winning 5 in 5 days is a lot different than winning 3 in 3 days.
Yeah, it's a great point. We're going to get into this in a whole bunch. We got a big show lined up for you today. Dane Bradshaw, the SEC Network, is going to join us to talk about the tournament, talk about Arkansas, their chances, what he thinks of the maturation of this team. Can they make a run? DJ Derrick is actually the DJ and has been for a while at the SEC tournament. I believe John George is still the public address announcement.
It's an Arkansas team there.
Well, when you think about DJ Derrick and the atmosphere that he's helped create in Bud Walton Arena, that is something they have duplicated. I believe Arkansas was really the first among those in the league to really sort of have that part of their atmosphere. NBA arenas have done it for a while. Arkansas has now done it for a while. Other schools and atmospheres have tried to replicate that. And because of that, DJ Derrick's been a big part of both the women's and the men's SEC tournaments. And he's got a cool story. We did a hog pod on him a while back. Great guy. If you've been around campus over the last decade or so, you're well more than familiar with him. But also, I kind of want to hear his point of view. How does he see these games? Like, does he get to watch them? And give us a different look at what the scene is in Nashville. Chuck, I want to hear your scene setter as well. Tomorrow, we're going to be very excited because there'll be a Razorback basketball in the middle of the day. It feels holiday-ish when you get to this time of the year. And many will either be having lunch watching the game as their lunch break at work, or they will have figured out a way to miss the afternoon, or they will be watching it at their desk during the day, or listening to it if you can't watch it, if your job doesn't allow that. And then other people will just be upset they're missing it. But that's the holiday play hooky vibe that we're getting tomorrow. So the excitement's already began. The team's already there. So you traveled there last night. Was there anything that took place last night, or was it strictly a travel day?
Strictly a travel day. I mean, there are a few more people on the plane. You always have more people from the university that go to the tournament. So, it sort of feels like a tournament game or a bowl game, as you travel, but nothing eventful or anything like that. We got to the hotel. I think the team went to eat, and that was about it.
And you went to bed.
Yeah, I came to the room and, prepared for the show, as I always do. And so I spent my evening immersed in show prep.
All right.
And,
So obviously this is a lie, and I'll tell you why. Chuck, being the entertaining broadcaster that he is, and knowing how to really just does not. Other than, here's what show prep would be to Chuck. Like if Chuck were teaching a young broadcaster, young talk show host, he would say, listen, as soon as you get there, I need you to get out and find some stuff to talk about. Like go experience life, go experience Nashville, set the scene, take us there. And now Chuck has decided that he's seen enough of that and he can set the scene without actually going out and seeing the scene last night.
I can just imagine it in my mind.
Yeah.
And describe it from all the vivid memories.
Exactly.
And I don't have to go anymore.
You're like, I've already gotten those T-shirts. I know there's 5 more of those honky tonks than the last time I was here, but that's fine. I know what one of them looks like.
I'm the oldest guy in those places now. That's the problem. They all think I'm a cop. They think I'm with the ABC or something when I walk in. So they don't welcome me with open arms.
They're giving you the side eye. So that guy's gonna bust me for my fake ID. Right. He's undercover.
It's got to be a mistake.
That guy's masquerading as an old play-by-play man for some SEC team. He's a cop. That's fantastic.
It's the truth.
877-377-6963. We want to hear from you this morning. You can text, call the show. We got a lot to get into. We'll do it next. I want to remind you, tax season's here. If you're not ready, H&R Block can help you get there in just a moment's notice. You walk in or make an appointment, and they're going to hook you up. 70 years of tax prep expertise to work for you at H&R Block. Look, it can be tricky with taxes, but they have all the answers to your questions. They can help you file with confidence. So you know once it's done, it's done. H&R Block, find one around the corner. It's 6:15 on a Tuesday, March 11th. Good morning. Touching the hearts of Arkansans, the passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. If you suffer from sleep apnea, but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Boulding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Boulding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, can you imagine if we all lived together, if we just walked into the living room at like 6 a.m. and just started talking each other's heads off? There's no good morning. I can't have my first cup of
somebody
coffee.
would get shot. The Chuck and Bo Show.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See Agent Randy Milam in Alma or Agent Brandon Zimmerman in Barling.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Hey everyone, Braden Webb here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. You may remember me from my days playing baseball for the Hogs. Now I'm hitting home runs for AAA Business Systems and enhancing the ways company do business in our area. If you want to partner with the best office technology provider in Northwest Arkansas, call me today at 479-442-4185. Let's win together and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Taco Bell's new caliente sauce made with red jalapenos is the spicy side of Cantina chicken. But does that mean everything has a spicy side? Like your cactus plant. It's like your other plants, but spicy. Or your coworker who says they hate everyone who works here, but you work here. Or when you say, I don't mean to be rude, but you do mean to be rude. But now you can feed your spicy side with Caliente Cantina chicken from Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You know, when you're young, I mean, you want to party. I mean, you want to go party, you want to go have a good time. But you do get to a point in life where it's like, I do kind of like not having to deal with people.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck has identified why he doesn't go out on the road anymore, especially in Nashville or college towns. He's too old, and they think he's a cop.
They think I'm in there to shake them down for their IDs.
Give him a weird look.
Bust underage drinkers.
He's scaring people left and right.
Yeah,
so he just stays in, eats at the restaurant, or goes down there to the little marketplace thing next to the hotel lobby desk. What do you got in there? You got any cold cuts from yesterday?
You make me sound so boring, Bo.
Well, you are. But you do a great job of covering it up on the air.
Thank you.
Yeah, 877-377-6963. Take the show with you anywhere on the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. Chuck's in Nashville. The SEC tournament begins tomorrow. Thero and Boogie Flan, Chuck, both made the trip. I know you know if they're going to play or not.
No, they're not going to play. That'd be nice, but I guess, will it be today? I would think today is when the injury report comes out. I don't know exactly how they do it during the postseason, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
But I would imagine that would be today.
I haven't. I'll be honest. I haven't looked at a single one this year. I've kind of always known what was coming. I think we all do or did, and it was just a matter of whether something was official.
Right.
And then in today's world, 15 people that are fans or media or both, or not sure which one they are, will send it on Twitter or social media. It'll be out. So there's the injury report.
That's the way I found out about it. Somebody just sends it out. I'm like you. I haven't ever actually looked at it.
Bart, are you on the official release list
for
the injuries?
I'm not. No.
Wow, get on it, man. What you're in the situation room. You have to know things.
They put it out on Twitter.
Who's they?
The SEC.
The SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Have you requested?
They've moved beyond the primitive release when it comes to injury reports. They go straight to Twitter.
Yeah. The primitive email.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, all the people we send it to are going to tweet it anyhow. How about we just tweet it?
Mm-hmm.
Bart,
smart thing to do.
Bart, have you reached out to Greg Sankey to ask if he would come on the show and explain why he's putting 16 teams through this disaster this week called the SEC tournament? When the real tournament is next week.
Yeah. I would
Kim Mulkey said the same thing after the women's tournament.
Well, it's obvious. We'll get into this in a minute, but it's obvious. It's obvious this is not the tournament that matters. The tournament that matters is the Sun Belt Conference tournament, which Arkansas State, unfortunately, came up short in. I was rooting for the Wolves last night.
Their women are going.
For the first time in school history.
Is that right?
Yeah, in their 50th year.
Well, good for them.
Yeah. Speaking of, I retweeted it with pride. How do Razorback fans feel about that?
I think it's great for them.
Well, that's what.
Like, good for them.
At least you were condescending about it. So that way, that makes it passable for
Well,
Razorback fans.
I took Jerry Palm's master class on that.
Oh, boy.
Warren's in Fort Smith.
Never gonna
Warren,
get old.
good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Hey, Warren, you there? Maybe we'll try Warren back. We know Brent and Cersei's on the ready. Hey, Brent.
Brent's been up since 4.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Bo and Chuck?
Brent, doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm just keeping it between the ditches. Always doing good, Chuck. Every day I wake up's a good day.
Well, good.
I want to talk about this.
I mean, well, good. Have a cup of coffee. What else you got?
I want to talk about this game tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Thank goodness I can eat my lunch and watch the game. Then take an afternoon siesta.
Attaboy.
I think we will win this game hands down. I think it's a totally different game than it was. Is it 2 weeks ago or a week ago? 2 weeks Saturday. I think it's be a totally different game. And I had a question for you guys. Do y'all ever watch SEC stories?
Yeah.
I do some, yes.
Yeah. I watched the one I was a part of where I got to help produce it. I watched that one. Does that count?
Well yeah, that's important for you to watch. But I watched one last night. I guess it was the first time on about Chris Lofton.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Really good.
Yeah, I've heard that's really good.
It was fantastic. It put Bruce Pearl in a whole new light to me as really a good human being. Which at some points I really question, but I cannot question that anymore. But what do you think about this game Saturday? Tomorrow, Tuesday.
Wednesday tomorrow. We got to kind of figure that out. Yeah, it is tomorrow at noon, Wednesday. I agree with you, Brent. I think it'll be a different outcome. But look, now we're in the postseason. Things are a little bit different. Just like us trying to remember what day it is. They're playing at a new time in the middle of the week. And everything's new. Postseason, you get there early. Now you're doing interviews the day before, all these types of things. So how do they sort of move into the postseason? I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I think they're going to be the team that we've seen lately. How will they shoot? This team, to me, Chuck, for all the other things we can say, you really expect them to show up, play defense, rebound, hustle, on certain areas I think we know, or in certain areas we know what we're getting. But I still wonder how they shoot the ball.
Well, I do too, and that's always important when you get, tournaments are different because you're in different arenas. You're in bigger arenas generally with different backdrops, and you don't, you don't play there except, once a year, maybe one time period. So it's, it's a different situation. What I expect from Arkansas tomorrow is to be physical inside. South Carolina wiped them out over in Columbia, and a lot of that was done inside with physical play, and that's where I would expect Arkansas to be much different tomorrow. I don't think South Carolina is going to be able to score inside with the ease that they did in Columbia. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to be able to score inside. They got good players. That's their game, is to go inside to Murray Boyles and go inside to Pringle. So I would expect them to try to do that, but it's not going to be as easy, I don't think, as it was in Columbia. Arkansas didn't put up much of a fight physically in that game and got out of hand in a hurry. And I don't expect it to be like that. I would expect Arkansas to be much more, they're not going to be pushed around inside the way they were. I'll put it that way.
Among the things that were on Calipari, The Razor's Edge, which is the documentary series following the Razorbacks and Cal this year on Vice TV. Last night, whatever episode that was, 4, I believe, among the things that were in the show was Cal's speech to the team or part of it after the South Carolina game. I want to listen to this real quick.
Look at me. Happens. We just went on a gauntlet of games, and you guys brought it every game. What did I tell the staff? We're going to have one of these where you go 0 for 18. Look, I've done this so long, I know. Let's just get ready for Tuesday. My focus is now Vandy on the road, another really good team. We're a really good team. You can't play the way you played today. You can't accept, I'm going to let this dude punk me. I'm not.
Now, Cal said those things to the media afterwards. He indicated to the world, this is what I told my team. But to me, seeing it in the moment reminds me, it's another example of the kind of coach he is and understanding how to connect with his team and his players. There are plenty of coaches, and we know them, who go in there in that moment and they break things and they scream and they holler. And I'm not saying Cal doesn't ever do that. But in this moment, he realizes the way to connect with his team. And we all know what that must have felt like for those guys after that game and what it felt like to be an interested observer or fan of that game. It was abysmal. I really believe the way he talked to them in that moment and then what they were able to go do after that in the next two games was critical.
Well, I think the one thing that he does understand from having been around as long as he's been around is what's done is done. Regardless of how it happened, what's done is done. And you've got to focus on the next game. I want to give you two different scenarios, and you tell me which one benefits Arkansas the most. They beat South Carolina, close game, go to Vanderbilt, get beat by 10 or 15, which is what a lot of people thought was going to happen. Or they lay an egg at South Carolina, it's a one-off, they go to Vanderbilt and win. Which really serves Arkansas best? I think winning at Vanderbilt more than cancels out the loss at South Carolina. When you look at what Arkansas has done over the last 11 games particularly, South Carolina is a one-off. I think the fact that they went into Vanderbilt and won and then beat Mississippi State shows that it's not a game that is indicative of who they are right now. And but no, I think you're right. I think the way he handled that, it was a really professional approach. I'll just put it that way. And I thought that was a good clip right there.
The question now is, did they really burn the tape, or did they bring it back to show before this game?
I don't think. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to show it at breakfast or not.
Right?
Today.
Do they go back and show it right before this game now, or do they still not bring it up? And I don't know the answer to that. But you can't script this any better the way that it's played out, Chuck. That you would get a chance to go back and sort of right that wrong in anybody's mind, in a game that probably doesn't determine whether you make the tournament or not, but certainly helps erase the bad memory of the just sort of stinker that you had.
Well, that's not something the coach has to say. If the coach has to say it today, well, that's a problem. The players are saying it. They're the ones that, as Cal said, got punked. It wasn't us. Nobody took us to the rim over and over and over again. We just had to watch it. I mean, they had to go through it. So I would imagine that they're going to be pretty competitive about this game tomorrow.
We got a bunch to get into here. We'll do it when we come back. And if you want to join the party, it's a Tuesday, and we're getting ready for Wednesday's noon party. Oh, it is. This is we're brunching at the best that you can possibly imagine at 6:32 a.m. We're brought to you in part by Pascal, and we're always telling you about your HVAC and what you can do with that, and the friendly professionals, and how you can get comfortable now, pay for it later when your tax return comes in. Pascal's so much when it comes to customer service, and they bring so much. And they do that because of their people. And right now, they're hiring. And they're hiring until May. And you got a chance right now, if you're a technician, to be part of the Pascal experience. It's a wonderful place to work. In fact, it's been voted Arkansas's best place to work 5 years in a row. If you're a tech looking for a new opportunity, Pascal has an opportunity for you. No overtime, no on-call. When you're off, you're off. And there's a reason they have been named Arkansas's best place to work, because it is the place to work. If you're in that line of work and you're interested, log on to gopascal.com and apply today. Pascal Air, plumbing and electric, professional people, professional service. 6:33 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Like, I think you should look at yourself today in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me?
Okay, I will.
I'm not talking about you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you haven't tried a Flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Why don't you just kind of style it up a little bit at the game? Let's get your drip going.
Hey, I got a lot more drip than you think.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The SEC has changed.
Major breaking news in college basketball.
Our coach has changed. Our roster has changed. One thing that hasn't changed, who we are. We are a championship program. We are led by Hall of Fame coaches. We are over 19,000 strong at home. And we are just as powerful on the road. We are the ones you counted out. We are Razorbacks.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, a Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's a Cut Above, 719-5605.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is already chipping away at 2025 with Joe's Chips and Salsa. Made with Tex-Mex house-made salsa. Made daily with fresh veggies, even carrots. Try their sizzling fajitas and crunchy tacos. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. Joe's has great enchiladas with homemade sauce. It's the best around. Plus a full bar and TVs all around the restaurant. The best Tex-Mex and even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
You did.
But I spewed it out.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, Chuck's in Nashville. Cecil is in Fort Smith. 877-377-6963. Cecil, good morning. What's happening?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Bo. Good morning, Chuck.
Hey, Cecil.
It's a couple things I want to say. I think we'll win with no problem. A lot of people said something about why I don't think we should play South Carolina because they just beat us. And I would rather play South Carolina than anybody just to show that we were just totally off. And I think we're more focused to win the game and keep moving. And the game we just played, I called my buddy. I'm going to share this because I want to share it. But I called Corey and I asked him, was he going to the game? And he said, man, I'll never buy a ticket. And I do. And then when I, when I hung the phone up, I thought about it. And I do understand. I saw Jarius Wright at the game, too. We kind of had a conversation about that. But I'm not trying to kick up any dust or anything like that. But if somebody like, the school made millions on this before any player was getting paid, though. But I ain't trying to start anything, but just to understand of a player that's great or went pro, won a national championship, which we only have one. But it seemed like, but we have good boosters, great boosters and everything. It seemed like something that they should have some kind of suite for those players to come in without paying.
So let me jump in real quick.
Okay.
When you're talking about guys like Jarius Wright and Corey Beck, I would be absolutely blown away if those guys can't get a ticket to the game. Now, you have so many former Razorbacks, you can't fit them in a suite. And you can't give everybody that played here or lettered here a ticket to a game. But when you're talking about guys that are synonymous with success in Arkansas, the idea that these people can't get free tickets to the game is absurd. Like, that's just not accurate. It's not true. Like, the day that Corey Beck calls and asks for it, the last game I was at, Corey Beck sat 8 rows in front of me. Like these narratives get, and I'm not blaming you at all, but these narratives get misunderstood and then perpetuated. I mean, Razorback greats are not walking around having a hard time getting into games unless they didn't ask anybody. And sometimes we all act like we should have been invited to something, but we didn't bother to ask. So there's not some issue here that I'm aware of. We're right now access and who gets in where and all that stuff. I mean, look, there's a right way to handle things. There's a right way to go through a process. And sometimes I'll put myself in this category, don't always feel like we should have to. But there are processes and people and ways to do things, and it's not always handled the best way. But this idea of players not being able to get into games is absurd. It's not true.
Right. I just thought I'd share that.
I'm just letting you know, though. I mean, you brought it up, so I just wanted to give you that feedback.
Right. Okay, fellas, Hog Wild. We play tomorrow, right, Bo?
How many games? Yes. How many games do you want Arkansas to win in the SEC tournament with the big picture in mind?
My God, man. Okay, if we beat South Carolina, who do we play? I mean,
Probably Ole Miss. Really? Hang on. They'll play Ole Miss if they win, and if they win that game, they play Auburn.
Okay, yeah. I mean, let's make it to Auburn, and then we'll beat them this time. I mean, if we had Auburn at the game, Chuck, I mean, in Fayetteville, Chuck, the day that we played really well there. We missed some free throws and just a few things we didn't do. I think if we would have been at home, we would have beat them. But let me say this before I hang up. I think the SEC tournament is anybody's tournament this year. That's just the way I see it, because it's a lot of great teams. They get in there and they play, they win, they lose, they win, they lose, they win, they lose. Arkansas can go. We can go for. I figure if we just make it to the semifinals, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Oh, that'd be a heck of a run. I mean, that'd be 4 games.
That
in 4
would
days.
be.
That'd be a heck of a run.
That'd be it. That'll be a heck of a season too, Chuck, because we got 20 wins in. We started off really bad. We got the babies. It was a lot of animosity in the air, and then things cooled down. And man, and Coach Cal's a great coach, man. I'm happy he's here. I did meet Nate. I took a picture with him, and boy, he's really long. His arms is almost longer than my whole body. My God. Yeah, and then I did pull him up, and he has a nice highlight. He can really handle the basketball and everything. So I'm hoping we can get him and all the other players we trying to get.
Yeah, I mean, that's like 3 of the top 5 potentially. Cecil, thanks for weighing in.
Okay, guys.
Have a good one, man. Have a great day.
Hey, well, I want to say something about what Cecil said right there before we go to a break. You can't fall into this trap. I mean, Cal's saying, you want to play free and easy, but you really want to get home, get a little rest, get ready for the most important tournament the following week. Does playing until Saturday run counter to that?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sitting here thinking if you play until Saturday with 7 guys, I mean, what's it going to be like the next weekend? I don't know. I mean, look, these are kids, and but by the same token, fatigue does come into play. I will say this: if Arkansas gets to Saturday with 7 guys, it'll be one of the more remarkable things we have witnessed.
Well, you would have beaten Auburn as well,
right?
Most likely.
Now, look, Auburn didn't play their best game when the Razorbacks were down there, and I don't know how they'll play Friday. I mean, who knows?
Well, not
it's
most
their first
likely.
game
It
in
would
the
definitely
tournament.
be Auburn. We got some tournament odds that we'll get to next.
All right.
We'll get to the Oaklawn Sports app. Oaklawn is the place to bet if you want to bet on the tournament or the NCAA tournament. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. Basketball season, postseason's here. They got all the prop bets, the player bets, the game props, anything you can imagine. And new customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. You can get a 10% profit boost if you're new or an existing customer on qualifying 3-leg parlays. So you could boost it if it's like odds of plus 1,000. You could boost it to plus 1,100. Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sporting app. We'll get those odds coming up next at 6:46 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
When you went into the Hall of Fame, I think it was at a Western Sizzling.
I think it was. It was at a motel. It wasn't a hotel. It was a motel.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Pascal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopascal.com today to schedule your service. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here and there. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Decisions aren't hard when no matter what you choose, you win. Like with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Choose from the $5 Classic box with iconic favorites like a beefy 5-layer burrito, the $7 Supreme box with the Chicken Chalupa Supreme, and more. Or find new obsessions in the $9 Discovery box. Get yours at Taco Bell today. Participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. How to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
That's 782-8940. That's the only number you need to know for all of your heating and air, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs. That's 782-8940, the only number you need to know.
It's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. To have a red truck rolling your way today for great American-made York products, give us a call at 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
You're listening to The Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Where's my life gone? I don't understand anything that's happening. There's all this stuff going on around me, and I'm just completely clueless. And that's when I decided I'm going to go to bed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chevy of Fayetteville's Northwest Arkansas's '1 volume dealer for a reason, mostly because of the people, but the selection's unmatched. And right now, you can get up to $11,500 off a 25 Chevy Silverado. or get behind the wheel of a brand new 2025 Tahoe with up to $12,000 in savings. $12,500, in fact. These exclusive deals aren't going to last forever. Truck Month is for a limited time only at Chevy of Fayetteville. Chevy of Fayetteville inside the Fayetteville Auto Park, celebrating 25 years. Ask about our friends Chris, Mark, and Denver over there. They'll help you out when you walk in. Their Bart's in the Chevy the Chevy Situation Room. Golly, I can't speak this morning. I've got cough drops in my mouth.
How you feeling?
Well, I feel better actually.
Yeah.
But
well, you look great.
Thanks. I didn't know there was any other option.
Oh, there is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Bart,
Well.
give us the tournament odds. Get me out of this.
Yeah, so Auburn, the number 1 overall seed, no surprise. They are the plus 150 favorite to win the SEC tournament at Nashville. Florida, the second choice, plus 250. Then you have Alabama, plus 410. Tennessee, plus 550. But then you see a pretty big drop to Kentucky at plus 2,000. Another drop to Texas A&M at plus 2,700. Missouri's plus 3,000. Ole Miss plus 7,000. I'll get to Arkansas plus 15,000
for Arkansas.
For Arkansas.
Well,
to
I
win
have
the SEC
a
tournament.
new rooting interest now. I have a new rooting interest.
Do you now?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Is it financially backed?
I'm thinking about $1,000 renewed interest at Oaklawn Sports, and to heck with the NCAA tournament. Who wants to make $15,000? Let's get on this train.
Well, I think the answer to that is everybody.
And there in a nutshell, folks, is how gambling changes everything.
That's right.
It changes lives, folks. It changes
You lose
lives.
that first 1,000 and you start chasing. Before you know it,
You've lost 15,000.
The rule is don't
going
chase,
for those
Chuck.
great odds. Ryan,
that two-letter word if is what always gets you there.
You'd win a lot more, by the way, if you put 1,000 down on Arkansas. If that's what you're alluding to.
Right. Is that not?
They're plus
15,000.
Oh, plus 15,000.
That's 150
Put
to
1,000 on there,
Right.
we wouldn't see you next.
So help me out here. So
150,000.
If you put 100 down, you win 15.
Yeah, there you go.
1,000.
Yeah.
So I don't have to. I don't have
If you
to
put a grand. If you put a grand down, it'd be
150,000.
Oh my!
Now we're talking.
Speaking of not being able to speak, I don't know. How fast can I get this in?
$150,000.
Well, I don't.
All they got to do is win 5
bring
games
the
in 5
income.
days.
Yeah, that's it.
It'd be easy.
Wow. Okay, guys, let's think about this. Shall we rally everyone for the NIL fund? On behalf of the NIL fund.
I'm pretty split 50-50.
By the way, I got an NCAA tournament bracket idea for the show.
Oh?
It's called Bart versus the Field.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
I'll take Bart.
Chuck and Bo Show.
The doors are open, and it's a new era of elegance. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry has unveiled its stunningly redesigned 8,500 square foot showroom for an unmatched luxury experience. There's breathtaking jewelry, of course, expert service, and private viewing rooms designed for comfort. And they've got an in-house cafe with handcrafted coffee to go along with a special coffee table book celebrating Arkansas's heritage. Because it's more than jewelry, it's your story at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business, and they've been serving the state since 1989. They're good folks, and you can get a free car wash by texting Splash Arkansas to 22322. That's Splash Arkansas to 22322.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, Confidence and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnumcosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine, a high this afternoon in the mid to upper 70s. Later on tonight, mainly clear, low 50s. Wednesday, a bounty of sunshine. Our high temperatures will be in the mid to upper 70s. However, we could see just a few passing showers across the south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh-made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Tommy's right on this one. Do you feel? Let me ask you this.
Normal around here.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's not just the flavors that keep you coming back to the House of Webster. It's a tradition. For over 90 years, our family-owned company has been making jams, jellies, salsas, barbecue sauce, and many more treats that make your meals come to life. From the first jar to the last spoonful, you'll taste the quality in every bite. Please visit our gift shop located at 1013 North 2nd Street, downtown Rogers. We want you to sample the great taste of life. Visit us at houseofwebster.com. House of Webster. See you soon.
Delicious jams and jellies.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Now, you got to understand, when I go on vacation, I'm not going to give you any action shots. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that I get up in the morning and we're going to go out on the water, we're going to do this and that. I mean, we're going to have some big day. No, I'm not doing that.
What is an action shot?
Well, I mean, like, you know, if you wanted to have some sort of, some sort of shot of, what you and I do on vacation, I would be sitting and staring out at the water.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
All right, Chuck's in Nashville. I'm in studio. The SEC tournament begins tomorrow, and the Hogs begin the tournament. I don't even know if we keep track of stuff like this, but is this Arkansas's first time beginning the tournament? Like the very first game that Arkansas has played at noon? Does anybody know? I don't know if this is the first time they've actually played at noon. But it sets up. Chuck, explain why it sets up so well to play that first game.
Well, because you've got a hard start, number one. You don't have to sit around and wait on anybody else to get finished. That's a big deal. And I like the fact, even if you get in the noon part, and I don't think the players, frankly, like it as much as maybe the grown-ups do, but the one thing that they do, wherever you're slotted, if you win that game, you're going to play the same time tomorrow during the day or tomorrow night. And now it'll change a little bit as you get further into the tournament. But I really think tomorrow and Thursday are going to be the two best days of the tournament because you've got you've got some teams that are legitimately trying to improve their seeds. The top 4 seeds in the tournament, I mean, 2 of them are going to be number ones when we get to the NCAA, and a third might be. But for the rest of them, I mean, you look at some of the games that are on tap tomorrow after Arkansas plays. I think Texas and Vanderbilt's next. I mean, if Texas has any prayer at all, they've got to win that game. And, where's Vanderbilt going to be seated if they lose to Arkansas and Texas consecutively? I don't know. Does it cost them a seed, spot on the seed line? So there are some things that I think teams are going to be playing for, but by comparison to the importance of next weekend, I mean, it obviously pales. But I think tomorrow and Thursday we're going to see some exciting games.
Yeah, and the day games are when they put the A crew on for the broadcasting squad. Right. Like the ESPN crew of Dan Schulman and Jay Billis will call the day games. For whatever reason, when we get to postseason, those earlier games are treated like the bigger games than some of the later games. By the way, the late game tomorrow night is another important game in terms of bubble teams. Oklahoma's playing Georgia. Outside of these early games that Chuck's talking about, the tournament, I think, is somewhat inconsequential to the NCAA tournament. You have a couple of things. You got bubble teams that can play their way into a better spot, and we just talked about that. And then you have a team that maybe can play for a slightly better seed. But really, a lot of this tournament is like try to get out of there without being beat up or hurt or tired and go play the real tournament. We'll get into the importance or lack thereof of this because it's become a topic out of what Cal said. Bart, what did you have on tomorrow's game?
Well, I was just going to say, going back to the conversation about Arkansas starting the tournament, in past iterations, when there were 14 teams in the field, those 2 first-round games were both at night. Arkansas did play in the opening game, I think, last year. They played in the opening game of the tournament.
But it wasn't a noon.
But it wasn't a noon game.
On the first day.
They played them at like 6 and 8 or 6 and 8:30, something like that.
Yeah, which is another thing that
I think the last time Arkansas played in noon was in 2019. They were the 9 seed and opened the tournament against Florida.
Yeah, another thing we got to remember is this tournament's bigger than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Like we got more games. Ryan's in Hot Springs. Ryan, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning.
I hate to switch gears on you, but man,
no, it's fine.
I am too
too excited about the news we got last night with Dre Greenlaw coming to Denver.
How about that? 3 years, $35 million. Dre Greenlaw goes to Denver as a free agent.
Man, that's great. Good for him.
It's been a long time since I've been excited about NFL football because, Denver's not been that good the last few years. But after the year they had this year and already getting Dre and, pairing him with Drew Sanders, and then, there's talks and rumors that if the Bills release Vaughn, that Denver may go ahead and try and pick him up. So that would be pretty big.
Were you listening that one day on the show? We got a call a couple of months back about how the Broncos were moving to Bentonville, and it was already a done deal. Remember that, Chuck?
I do remember, yes.
Ryan would have been so happy.
Yeah, I'd probably have to move up there. I'd have my Broncos and my Hogs up there. Yeah, I'd probably have to move up there.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. But
yeah, I wanted to.
It's a good call.
I'm too excited about it, and I hope y'all have a great day, and go Hogs.
All right, man. Thanks for hopping in here. 877-377-6963. By the way, again, just a friendly reminder, tax season's here, ready or not. If you got a question or you need to file, H&R Block, here to help you out with 70 years of tax expertise going to work for you. You'll find an H&R Block somewhere near you. You can just walk in or call and make an appointment. All right, so Cal set off this firestorm. We actually helped perpetuate it by putting it out on social media. But I think it's a great point, and I think it's how people feel. I'm talking about coaches. When it comes to the SEC tournament, here's what he told Chuck on his courtside coaches show.
I don't care about the conference tournament, which is why we won it so many times, because I could care less. The tournament that matters is the NCAA tournament. Now, you play that tournament to get the best seed you can get. And if you're going to get to the finals, win. Or don't go to the finals and lose because you're exhausted and you got to play on Tuesday or Wednesday. So I'm like, let's play well and try to improve our seed.
So that was what was said and then posted on social media. And Jay Williams of ESPN, I don't think he cared for it much based on what he said last night at halftime in the studio of a game.
So I know that John Calipari says that he could care less about winning the SEC tournament, but we are talking about arguably the greatest single-season conference of all time. So I think that's absurd. Like, I think everybody's approach is to win every single game they play, right? And you're also talking about, you can make a case, Seth, that the semifinals of the SEC tournament could be more exciting to watch than the Final Four. It could be the Final Four. It could be the Final Four. Actually, you can make the case. You would hope that that would be the Final Four. Because the teams, think about this. Here's a stat for you. SEC has won 21 wins against AP-ranked non-conference opponents so far this season. Most by any conference in single-season history in the AP.
That's a full-grown nugget, by the way.
Come on. That's what this tournament is about.
Okay, a couple things real quick. And I don't know, maybe the audio is a little squirrely there. We could make it sound better. But I think you heard it well enough to hear what Jay Williams said. A couple things. One, Cal didn't say he didn't care anything about winning the SEC tournament. That never came out of his mouth. He never said, I don't care about winning. I don't care about the tournament compared to the other tournament. Second thing, Jay Williams just talked as a fan. He just talked. That was all about being a fan in a TV experience and enjoying games. It's got nothing to do with a coach's perspective. A coach should talk from a coach's perspective. So you're not even arguing with him. You're saying, hey, man, shut up. I want to watch great games. Not I care about you caring about your team and what's best for your team. All these coaches have to consider that. And this is where you have the difference, Chuck, between the TV network and what they want. And this, by the way, plays out in multiple situations throughout multiple sports throughout the year. What the TV networks want and what's great for a team are not always the same thing.
Well, your point's very well made, and yes, Jay Williams was speaking the voice of the fan. What Cal, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I took it, and I said this last hour. Go in there and play carefree. Just go in there and play. Your competitive spirit's going to take over. Sometimes when people hear the phrase, I don't care, they think that somebody, I don't care if he's open or not. I'm going to pass it to him anyway. Or I don't care if I throw it out of bounds. Or I don't care if that guy dunks on me. I don't care about any of that. That's not what they're saying. They're saying we're going to go in there and play without a care in the world. what Jay Williams said about how the semifinals of the SEC could be as good as the Final Four, he's right. And it may still be that way because you're going to have a bunch of guys out there off great teams, great players, without a care in the world, just playing basketball, trying to beat each other. That's when a lot of these great conference tournament games happen. It's not when you've got an NCAA tournament bid on the line. Lots of times those are not the games that really produce. It's the games where you've just got two teams full of great athletes with nothing to lose, and they're just going out there and letting it all hang out. So, yes, he spoke from the perspective of a fan. I think what fans would like sometimes is for it to mean, or for it to be obvious, that it means as much to them as it does to us, even though it always means more to them than it does to us. We just don't realize it.
It's just sort of the way it is. We got the tournament that we have. We got SEC championship games in football or other conference championship games in football, and it may not necessarily be helpful to you getting your team in the playoff, or in this case, your team being at its best for the NCAA tournament. But that's the setup we have, and coaches have to manage that. But it's challenging because, as Chuck said, they are not going in there trying to lose. But this tournament could be wildly entertaining just from a basketball fan's perspective if you want to just look at it in a vacuum. And I expect it to be. I mean, I think we're going to have some really great games.
You know, I think you said it right there. If you just look at it in a vacuum, if you don't compare it to what you've seen the last 3 or 4 months, and you don't compare it to what you think you're going to see next week, just enjoy it for what it is. Because I'm going to tell you, if you like college basketball and you're not hung up on what every point means and who's getting in and who's not and all that, if you just sit back and watch for 5 days, I can't imagine any tournament being any better.
By the way, you talked about playing loose and free. I sat down with the Alloy brothers yesterday for a Hog Pod episode. Well, you talk about two carefree guys that are just happy and at peace with life. And part of that, as they admit, is their just Hawaiian culture.
Well, they grew up in Hawaii.
And
how could you not be happy?
How they grew up. I mean, we got into this. Like, how do you live anywhere else? If you're raised in Hawaii, like your whole life is in Hawaii, how do you enjoy living anywhere else? Like the food, the air you breathe, just the temperature and the air you breathe alone in Hawaii. But I'm talking to Kuhio and Vahiva and asking them, like, your approach at the plate, because they're just killing it right now. And I realize that, you know, averages go down when you get an SEC play and all this stuff. But I still think they're really good hitters, and they're going to have a great season. Vahiva just won SEC Player of the Week. I mean, he only hit 6 doubles in a week, or 4 doubles in a week. But they both are tied for the lead on the team in home runs with 6. I mean, they're just killing it. But I said, like, what's your approach at the plate? And they said to not think about it too much and have fun. Like, find a ball in the zone and hit it hard. You know, not necessarily guess on every pitch that's coming next, but get in there and have fun. And there's a lot to be said for that. We put so much pressure on ourselves. You know, like athletes do it. We do it in life. I mean, sometimes it was just kind of refreshing to see. You ever say to yourself, like, man, I wish I was young and dumb again and naive. Like, life was just so much more enjoyable.
You see a young team sometimes make a run, and you'll hear one of the people on television or radio say, they're too young to realize this isn't supposed to be happening.
That's right.
You know, I've heard that before, and I suspect a lot of others have too. Here's the thing about being a hitter in baseball. Most of these guys get themselves out. You know, if you really watch a baseball game, most of the time the hitter gets themselves out. Pitcher helps, but, you know, the hitter's got a lot to do with it. You better go up there relaxed, and you better have the mindset of, I'm going to have fun, and if they put one in my zone, I'm going to hit it as hard as I can. You know, that's maybe the hardest thing in sports. I don't know. But, you know, most of the time, or a lot of the time, you know, the hitters put so much pressure on themselves and guess so much that they get themselves in trouble.
Got our first night game at Baum-Walker Stadium tonight. UCA comes to town. They're 5-8.
Bears.
Yep, the Bears in town tonight for a 6 o'clock game under the lights at Baum-Walker Stadium. Should be great. I don't know what the temperature is at first pitch. We can get
It's going to be warm.
It's going to be nice, right? It's going to be like one of those wonderful summer kind of feeling nights at the ballpark.
Bring
and
a
there's
pullover.
nothing
Bring
like
a
that.
pullover.
Always a little cooler than you think when the sun goes down.
72.
The breeze is blowing, but always bring a pullover. Chuck's right. Hey, maybe enjoy a flight by Yuengling while you're there, while you're watching the SEC tournament this weekend. They've got the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle, perfect for any occasion with just 95 calories. You can enjoy the test. You can enjoy the crisp, refreshing taste of a Yuengling as a light beer. Flight by Yuengling. Yes, Edward.
Have one while you're taking a test.
Yeah, have one while you're taking
Maybe not.
the test of enjoying life. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. It's 7:18. Good morning.
I mean, I don't know if it's old or just like.
Well, the world's changing. It's like Bart said a little bit ago. When he summed it up with 2 words. I mean, things change.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Now is the time to join Hogs Plus, the Netflix for Razorback fans.
Arkansas wins it. Here they come.
Documentaries, exclusive interviews,
people everywhere, and then next thing you know, it's just everybody's packed.
Insider access, and an incredible library of films.
Arkansas leads it by 3.
A membership like no other.
I don't think it gets any better than this.
Oh, you're giving me goosebumps now.
Start your free trial today at hogsplus.com.
If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, GUTTERS.com. When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Attention business owners, are you overpaying for your website, dropping thousands up front and shelling out more than $95 a month? Stop the madness! With Modular Orange, you get a custom-built, fully managed website for just $95 a month. No hidden fees, no headaches. They write it, build it, launch it, update it, and secure it so you can focus on your business. Ditch the overpriced hassle and go simple. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940. Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. Or for more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087, or online at servicemasterpc.com.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
We take 2 planes in basketball. Needless to say, I'm on plane 2.
But you are the king of plane
Well,
2. You
I
are
don't
the
know.
host. You are the chairman of the second plane.
I wouldn't go so far as to say chairman, but my seat is in the upper half.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck is the chairman, period. I don't know why I made it about the plane. He is the chairman.
I don't know about
He's chairman
that.
of the Chuck and
Well,
Bo
in fact,
Show.
I do know I'm not. I'm certain of that.
Hey, take us anywhere on the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. And don't forget, you can download the show on demand via podcast, the Chuck and Bo Show, at Chuck and Bo Show on Spotify or Apple. Spring football got underway yesterday. We'll get into maybe a little bit of this as we carry on throughout spring. I didn't find yesterday to be terribly earth shattering, but we did get some thoughts from Taylor Green about how he thinks that he can be a lot better in year 2. And I wanted to do the press conference for him and say Chuck and I were saying that last year during the season, that we're really looking forward to the next year. I mean, he's got I just think he's got a lot of upside, and it's going to be fun to watch year 2. How does the offensive line progress? How does the receivers, the new receivers, gel? How do they gel with him? But I think they've got good enough running backs, if not good, really good. And Carmona apparently is either going to be at guard or center, Chuck. And I think that we knew that coming out of last year, and then when they went and signed a couple of tackles, it became evident. But
Well, no, I mean, the tackles have got to play. I mean, the plan's to move him inside, but it means those other guys got to play.
Yeah.
So, and I think they will. They expect them to. They're going to have to. I mean, that's why they've been brought in. I'm anxious to see Taylor Green's just command of the moment, so to speak. That second year, everything's going to be much more familiar, and he's going to be a lot more comfortable. He's going to understand. Not only will he understand his position better, he'll understand everybody else's position better too. And he's going to have much more command of the entire offense. And I think that's really important for a quarterback.
JR is in Shady Grove. Hey, JR, what's happening? JR is still in Shady Grove, but I don't know if he's on the Chuck and Bo Show. JR wanted to, I think, talk about football. Maybe we just covered it. And he just said, I'm good.
Can't do any
Time to
better
order
than
my
that.
latte.
Yeah.
By the way, they've got them at Blakeman's right now. I've been telling you about that. You got to go check that out. You got to go have Bart. What would you? I'm going to send Bart the menu and see what he would get. At
What is now? What's got to happen for Bart to collect?
Well, I think I think it's kind of done.
Have we passed that
Because
point?
I don't.
They're going to get in. That was it. Right?
Yeah.
If they get in,
if
you
they
gotta
don't
buy
get
them a
in,
Rolex.
Bart owes me. Well, no, I didn't say that.
Oh.
I didn't say that. I'm sending the
Maybe I
menu, by the way,
misunderstood.
in the group text. Well, maybe you also misunderstood that you're in for half of it.
Well,
So
I
do you wanna
saw
keep
why,
talking
and
about
I know
that?
How you roll? So I just assumed it meant Rolex.
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've just got them stacked up over here. By the way, I've decided I need to get an Apple Watch because I'm tired of my phone telling me I didn't hit my fitness ring when I worked out yesterday and didn't have my phone in my pocket. Like it's
That's
really
the whole reason I have an Apple Watch. And it is nice to know that at the end of the day, whether you hit your rings or not.
That's true peace of mind before you go to bed at
it
night.
is. That's
You look at
exactly
that,
right.
you just breathe it in.
Living life,
Yeah, you just smile like another day. Well done.
I will look at it today. You know, when you're in a city
yeah.
and you walk
Oh.
around, I do check it those days.
Did I tell you my phone being in my pocket at 2 of the playoff games I went to? I walked over 7 miles at the stadium.
Wow.
Well, you just don't you don't think, well, they're big NFL stadiums, and a lot of what I'm doing is logistics, and, you got to walk over here and walk over there and go get somebody something that they need and go check on a potential issue. And by the way, we're missing a parking pass, and that guy's going to be here in an hour. Now you walk it out to, and it's all that. It sounds glamorous, but
it really does.
It's not.
It does.
All right, what do you want, Bart, off the Cafe B at Blakeman's?
Yeah,
you got espresso drinks?
I'll take the signature latte. It sounds great.
The Blakeman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Read it off to us.
Our signature latte with notes of honey, cinnamon, and vanilla.
Yeah. You could probably get it with oat milk, too.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably would.
Oh, there it is. Look at that. They got oat milk.
Yeah, probably would.
How about that? I'm telling you guys, if you haven't gone in there and checked this out, if you're married, you got a girlfriend, whatever, leave your wallet at home and walk in there. No, I'm just kidding. Go in there and just go window shopping. It's incredible. We got an Americano. Chuck, what's your go-to at a coffee shop?
Just coffee. I mean, that is.
I mean, you
just
can
whatever
you
your
can fancy
house blend.
You can fancy it up.
If I want to sound bougie, I say house blend.
If you want to sound bougie, how about Americano?
Yeah. Well, okay.
That's a black coffee. It's espresso and water.
Sounds great.
Yeah, try that. All right, DJ Derek is the DJ at the SEC tournament, and we're going to talk to him coming up next. You can, if you got any questions for him, you can send in a text, whatever. 877-377-6963. By the way, I was telling you about Blakeman's, but that new store, 8,500 square feet, almost 10,000 square feet, really, of new retail space. It's like going into a jewelry store in a big city, and an expanded selection of literally breathtaking jewelry with everything you can imagine. So if you need a diamond, you're getting engaged, or maybe you just want a bracelet or just something to celebrate a milestone, they got it all at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. 7:29. Good morning. It's the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, well, congratulations, Coach.
I made some good calls today.
You sure did. You sure did.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Discover the Stonebreaker Hotel, where handcrafted elegance meets modern comfort. Relax in beautifully designed rooms, or book your next reservation at the Stonebreaker Lounge and Restaurant, where you can satisfy cravings with fresh, seasonal takes on traditional favorites. Open daily from 5 to 9 p.m. For more information, log on to stonebreakerhotel.com, located on Markham Road in Fayetteville, where you'll find the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes.
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
This is Ruskin and Zach.
Graham that says Todd Day was overrated. Shut up, Graham. Go take a lap. Run
Good
to left.
God.
Come on.
The takes today are just straight ass out of you people. Todd Day is overrated? Get out of here. This is exactly what's wrong with this place. Your all-time leading scorer in the history. No one scored more than him. Oh, he's overrated. It's Corliss. It's Sydney. It's Todd Day. 1, 2, 3.
Ruskin and Zach, 2 to 7 weekdays, only on ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
It's your favorite time of year, March Madness, and the #1 place to get all your alcohol this basketball postseason is Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith. Located at 9390 Rogers Avenue, Eastside Liquor has everything you need. Dave Bushko and his team have all your beer, seltzers, wine, liquor, and more. Eastside Liquor, they always come up clutch in the postseason.
Arkansas wins the national championship!
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours without enough help? You can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jazzco?
We do food trucks, cars. We do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses. We do logos, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jazzco. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
My first thought, my subconscious was, gosh, another late game. And then my next thought was, change your flipping attitude. What's wrong with you? Quit being so negative.
What was your reply to yourself?
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Stop being so negative.
Was this a long conversation or was it a short one?
It was a short one.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck, you're going to see a couple of familiar faces at the game tomorrow.
I know.
In the arena, maybe even beforehand.
Feel like home.
Yeah, Johnny George is the PA announcer for the the public address announcer for the SEC tournament. DJ Derek is the DJ of the SEC tournament, and he's kind enough to join us now. Derek, how are you? How's Nashville?
Derek.
Nashville is as beautiful as Nashville is.
I mean, for a music guy, yeah.
Yeah, this is heaven for a music guy.
Do you just go take in some of the scene? Do you have any time for that?
I got time now. Well, the only time I have free would be when we get here because I come straight from Greenville, South Carolina for the women's tournament.
Yep.
So when I touch down that Monday, I have until Wednesday when everything starts off. And I think we start off with the Hogs this week, which is going to be insane and great. But up until that point, it's mostly relax a little bit and go through some music and get everything kind of set for the big show.
Yeah, how do you prep for that? Like the SEC tournament, do they give you a list of songs they want to hear? Do you just kind of figure that out yourself?
Well, the whole reason I'm here is because I'm able to figure that out myself. They, I think ever since I worked for the SEC, they pretty much trusted me. And I think from the years and the things I've done at Arkansas, I think they knew I knew how to handle, like, most situations to not be a complete PR nightmare. So I think they have the trust in me to know that I wouldn't push any boundaries or do anything crazy. And the fact that I've been doing it for Arkansas in different places the way I have, I know it, pretty much what to do. So,
hey, Derek,
no, they give me freedom.
You were talking about planning your show. How much just happens, too? I mean,
well,
the spirit moves you, shall we say.
Yes. Nothing, whenever you see me do anything in an arena or anything in general, I plan for nothing. Because I've said this before, an arena is a moving, living organism. So if you plan, it's going to feel planned. You're going to tell it's like robotic. Everything changes every second. So what you thought would work 30 seconds ago, actually 10 seconds ago, no longer would work if you can read it right. So I don't really set out exactly what I'm going to do. I just kind of go with it with whatever kind of energy or the mood.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I texted him after, what was it, Chuck, when it might have been a Texas game, where I was like, man, the energy down the stretch was just amazing. And the crowd, was that the 9 o'clock tip? It was so late. You could feel
it. 8 o'clock.
Yeah. It was so late. I mean, it was 8. And it felt like, it's getting to be 10. And that game lasted forever. And it was like you could feel the crowd getting tired. And, but you, had that energy. You picked it up and all that. I know, like you also probably got to deal with this a little bit. And you've been here since the 90s. And you understand the role of the band and the tradition and the pageantry of college sports. But we've also we've got a new generation. A lot of things have changed. And you try to balance keeping that. I know you don't even make all those decisions. But what is your role? What do you see your role at a game?
My role is to try my best whenever, just like you said, it's the energy in there. It's just the feel of it. So I try my best to not let the energy die down, which is a hard thing to do. But you just try to keep people engaged. You try to keep people's focus on, don't sit down. Don't just get comfortable. Don't just sit back and watch the game. You have to, you as a fan are just important to the energy of the team and to that arena as the actual coach and the athletes. Because when you guys sit down or when you guys just give up or whatever, that energy goes straight to the court. So my job is to try to keep you up and in it. Keep that heart pumping.
What's different about going to the SEC tournament versus being in an environment where there's clearly one team you want to win the game? Everything's sort of energized towards the Razorbacks at Bud Walton. What's different in a more neutral environment?
The first thing you have to adjust is the fact that you're not just doing it for your side. So the same energy that you do when this team does something great, you have to bring the same energy when the other team does something great. That's an adjustment that takes a few days. And it's just the difference in you have a lot of traditions and stuff when, like at Arkansas. You can see what's coming because it's traditions. When you come out here, you no longer just represent Arkansas. You represent that region of the country. So with that, you kind of got to bring their traditions in. You have to make sure they feel at home the same way that your team would feel at home. So when I come here, the Razorback Red comes off, and it's complete SEC. And that's the biggest thing, to actually balance it out where everybody gets a piece of that pie.
Hey, Derek, take us back. I mean, you mentioned you came from the women's tournament to the men's tournament. How did the connection with the SEC begin? How'd you get the opportunity to do this? And what's this like for you? Going to the tournaments, because it's a busy couple of weeks, I know, too.
It's an extremely busy couple of weeks. Once it starts, there's no sleep. It's full go. And especially since they changed it to 4 games, you got 3 days of 4 basketball games back to
Oh,
stuff
you
in
do
between.
them all.
Yeah,
You
he's
do
there
'em
all day.
Right.
There's no
right.
substitute.
You're
There's
gonna
no
have to take him
fill-in
a
for,
sandwich,
like, the
Chuck.
afternoon game, man. That's
So
incredible.
many people that don't know that. They think I just come in because the Razorbacks are here or something like that. No, I'm the guy for the SEC. So whenever you hear any kind of music, I don't care if it's like palm and dance going out there, if you hear in between, if you hear just piping music just playing like something low underneath like a ceremonial thing, that's all me. So once I lock in, I'm locked in.
How'd you get hooked up with him? How'd it happen?
The SEC contacted Julie Kane. I don't know, I forgot when this was, but I guess they heard what I was doing at Arkansas. And this was before, I don't even think they had DJs in sports arenas. Like, that's a common thing now. But if I'm not mistaken, I was the first. So we were doing something completely different than what other college arenas were doing. So they contacted Julie and asked her, they were like, we need his information because we would like to see if we could bring this in and blah, blah, blah. Well, Julie came up to me in the most Julie Kane of ways and was like, just as monotone as you could think, this is Julie. And she was like, the SEC wants to talk to you about some stuff, and they said they're interested. And by her tone, I didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing or whatever, but I was like, okay. And she came and told me, she was like, they want to bring you down, and they were talking to me about bringing you to do some games and stuff. And I lit up. I was like ecstatic. Like, I would love to. Oh, yes, do it. And like I said, Julie is a monotone, just like, I'll let them know. I just started laughing. And after Julie gave them my info, they reached out, and if I'm not mistaken, I went straight to women's basketball for the tournament. After that opened up the door to the men's the next year. Then that opened up the door to do baseball. Then that opened up the door to do gymnastics, and so on and so forth. And it just went on from there.
You're a busy guy.
Hey, well, DJ Derek, he's got a lot of hobbies. Like we don't have time to get into them all. But we did a hog pod. I don't even know how long. I feel like it's been a year and a half ago. His journey, his story, being from Texarkana, his dad owning nightclubs, growing up playing music, getting turntables when he was a kid. Like how his stories, Chuck, is amazing. In terms of coming to Arkansas and just going to school and then starting to play some like sorority functions and whatever. And he's doing that as well now. But we'll get you out of here with this, and I encourage you to go hear DJ Derek's story because it's like a lot of things. It's a path that he never expected, and it's really cool. But I'm curious before we let you go, like how do you view a game? Like, do you know what's happening in the game at all times? Like, so give me your perspective on Arkansas basketball, and are you getting to watch what's kind of unfolded from this 0-5, 1-6 start in conference play to winning 7 of their last 11 games?
My God, that's a good question. I don't see the game anywhere close to how you guys see the game. So whenever you guys are there, you're locked in and you're actually watching the basketball game. My brain is mush. I'm thinking like 10 steps ahead on every play. I can't see the score. All I see is situations. Okay, this is happening. This might happen. If this happens, be ready for this. But if it doesn't happen, just be prepared for this. And if that does happen, and this does happen, then be prepared for this while going to this. This is nonstop. So I can't really get invested in the game. And if you ask me after the game what happened, I couldn't tell you. Like, I'm doing so much preparation for what could happen in the different situations that the game kind of flies over me, and I'm just looking at just like making sure the energy and the hype is there for different situations. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's a great perspective. By the way, we got a good question in from JT in Hot Springs. He goes, ask DJ Derek if he can have the same kind of energy that he's talking about for like Kentucky and A&M and some of these teams we can't stand in the SEC. Is it hard to take off that hog cap and go be neutral for Texas at the SEC tournament?
As long as Texas is not playing Arkansas. You can't help it out. Yeah. You can't help but have some bias, but you're not gonna I'm not gonna do something to actually pump our boys because I can't. I'm 100% neutral. But if you're talking about inside, what I'm feeling, I mean, of course, I'm gonna be
I get it. I
want the Hogs to do a little bit, no, my job is to make sure the energy of the entire arena does a certain thing. And it's not lined up the same way. The way our script and the way our show goes for Arkansas, it's lined up to boost that. For the SEC, it's not the same kind of script and it's not the same kind of outline. So it wouldn't be the same situation where if I do something at a certain time, it's really going to show. They're not going to do a dunk on us, and then all of a sudden I'm just pumping it up. It's not set up that way. It's a different setup.
Man, hey, it's great to catch up with you. We're out of time. Wish we had longer, but go check out DJ Derek's Hog Pod. Thanks. Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on your success, man.
It's been fun to watch.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Love seeing an Arkansas dude doing great things. We got to hit a break on the Chuck and Bo Show. 7:48. Thanks to DJ Derek, SEC Tournament DJ, Arkansas DJ, for joining us.
Can we just say, for all of you who get up early in the morning and you work so hard, man, we're glad you're here. We just really appreciate all the work you do to make Arkansas better.
You talking to me?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry.
How do people see what you've made over the years, Cecil?
Google, Yahoo it, or Bing it. Jazzco Graphics Design, JAAZCO, Monday through Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And sometimes I'm here after, so if that open sign is on, I'm here, y'all come on in. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Hey, Ty Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage. My mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations, over 300 five-star reviews.
Yeah, Ty, we pride ourselves on delivering a five-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
So Arkansas puts me through a lot of pain.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Well, we went long with DJ Derrick, so short segment, but that was it's good to visit with him. The all SEC teams are out, Chuck, and we talked about Izzy Higginbottom leading the SEC for the women and not making any of the teams. And no Razorback is on the men's team, the SEC team.
Year in a row.
Yeah. Boogie Flan maybe didn't play enough games, but Thiero, we think, did, and his numbers are better than some ahead of him, but he didn't make first, second, or third team.
There's a lot of really good players in the SEC. I mean, that's what I would say about that. And you can really make a case for a dude who have made one of the teams. But then you look at all the players who are on the conference teams, and, I mean, who do you take off? That's why the league's so good. That's why they're going to have 12 or 13 teams in the Big Dance, because all these teams have good players.
I just put it as another part of the script that John Calipari has to work with when talking to this group of guys. Another moment of motivation, perhaps.
Well, I mean, I'm sure. The players notice this stuff, and I've never met a coach that didn't try to take something and or nothing and turn it into something. Yeah. So that's just kind of how it works.
First Security Bank's the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show, making it easier to bank better all over the state with convenient locations. FSBank.com, member FDIC. The Chuck and Bo Show continues.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnomcosmetic.com and click on the Sweat No Edge.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
You know, I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Hey, do y'all know what time it is?
It's about 2:30.
Summertime.
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha.
Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha tees, flags, bases, loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs.
Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479-STADIUM.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store.
South of the North Pole.
Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is already chipping away at 2025 with Joe's Chips and Salsa. Made with Tex-Mex house-made salsa. Made daily with fresh veggies, even carrots. Try their sizzling fajitas and crunchy tacos. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. Joe's has great enchiladas with homemade sauce. It's the best around. Plus a full bar and TVs all around the restaurant. The best Tex-Mex and even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine, a high this afternoon in the mid to upper 70s. Later on tonight, mainly clear, low 50s. Wednesday, a bounty of sunshine. Our high temperatures will be in the mid to upper 70s. However, we could see just a few passing showers across the south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Dumps it underneath. Golden shot blocked by Brazil.
Oof. Oof.
Hey, Todd Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage. My mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations, over 300 five-star reviews.
Yeah, Todd, we pride ourselves on delivering a five-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In-Stock
We hope
Parts,
so. I
located
know
off
he's
Highway
still doing his
45 across
rehab.
from the cold storage
There
in
hasn't
Fort
been an
Smith. Are you a
update to
maintenance
us yet,
technician,
but
landscaper,
he's
farmer,
working
or
to get
do-it-yourselfer
better,
and need a
and
bearings,
we'll go from
belts,
there.
or roller chain, or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a
We hope
gas
so. I
powered
know he's
generator.
still doing
Don't
his
waste your time
rehab.
driving around.
There hasn't
Stop
been an
by
update
In-Stock
to us.
Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In-Stock Parts.
Hey, Todd Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials.
We do have awesome lunch specials Monday through Friday. We've got any small pizza for $7.99. You can also order a salad with it. Great in and out special for a quick lunch.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
My favorite's when we're going to break, and we're not there yet, but I'm talking, and Chuck knows we're going to break, and he just disengages, sits back from his mic, takes his headset off, and I'm still talking.
Yeah, I need to stop doing that.
And he's on his phone.
That's not true. That is not true.
Like, I know you're rapping. I know you're about to land this plane, and I didn't care about your point to begin with, but I wish you to hurry up.
Hey, listen.
I'm indicative of the entire audience right now, Bo. Shut up.
I got to quit doing that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Yeah, there they are. There they are. And all the fanfare. Hey, everybody. It's March 11th. It's Tuesday. The Hogs play baseball tonight under the lights. It's getting up to 75 today in Fayetteville. It's going to feel like the beginning of summer, and it's going to be 72 at Baum Stadium when they throw out the first pitch. We need you to throw out a first pitch, Chuck, at Baum Walker Stadium this year.
You know, now they let you come about halfway down to the plate, so that'd be good. I could maybe make
would
that
you
work.
do that if you were throwing out the first pitch? Bart, would you throw from the rubber?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would toe the rubber. Bart would grab the rosin bag.
Yeah,
there's a chance.
Yeah, he'd knock his shoes off. You got to do it all. Go behind the mound, clean your sneakers off on the what do we call that thing? With
Gotta shake off a sign.
Gotta shake off a sign.
And,
Look, act like you've been there before.
Toe the rubber.
right.
Yeah, let it rip. Let it get the separation, and then just come over the top. And anyhow, 6 o'clock tonight, UCA. Going to be the first night game at Baum Walker Stadium. Couple headlines. Dre Greenlaw has signed with Denver. The Broncos get him a linebacker, former Razorback, $35 million. Good for him, Dre Greenlaw. The Hogs are in Nashville. That's where Chuck is to play the SEC tournament. First game against South Carolina tomorrow. Kenny Payne, associate head coach for the Razorbacks, met with the media earlier this week.
We hope so. I know he's still doing his rehab. There hasn't been an update to us yet, but he's working to get better, and we'll go from there.
Anybody know who he's talking about?
I'm gonna guess Adu Thero.
Adu Thero. You are correct, Chuck. Does that sound like a guy who's coming back?
Well, it sounds like exactly what he said. They hope so, and they don't know yet.
Yeah.
And that's.
I don't expect him to play.
Yeah, I would not expect that either. No.
He was also asked about South Carolina and the matchup the first time around.
Well, they manhandled us last time. They're a very physical team. They dominated us with the 4 and the 5. I think they scored around 50-some points between those two. They posted the ball. They offensive rebounded. This is going to be a physical game. Our guys have to play with a sense of urgency. Our bigs have to do a good job of defending those guys around the basket, not giving them angles to the basket, fighting early for post position, not letting them get deep, and keeping them off the boards. Those are two good players. They're a very good team. The record doesn't indicate exactly how good they are, but when you watch them and you really pay attention to what they're doing, defensively they're very good in the half court. They make things hard for you, so you better move the ball and put them on their heels, or you're going to be on your heels.
Any thoughts on the difference in this game and the one they played at South Carolina a couple of weeks ago?
I don't expect Arkansas to get pushed around inside. Now, I expect South Carolina to try to do it. That's their only chance to win. Again, we'll go back to that game in Columbia. As dominant as South Carolina was in that game, their starting guards, all three of them, combined for 4 points. So it was purely an inside beating that they gave the Razorbacks in Columbia. And I'll be surprised if that happens tonight. Or tomorrow, I guess. The way Brazil's playing right now, if he can stay out of foul trouble. Adu's a different player even than he was a couple of weeks ago, I think. Certainly was in the last ball game. And so I don't expect that to happen. But, again, I do expect South Carolina to try to do it first thing. I mean, why wouldn't you? I worked like a charm last time.
Yeah, I think Adu is maybe the biggest difference in this game.
Thero, I tend to agree with that.
Was that Thero's first game out or second game out?
It was the second.
Okay, but they hadn't faced an inside physical presence like that. And I remember us talking about it right after the South Carolina game, and Chuck in particular mentioned he felt like that made a difference. Adu has really stepped up, and I for one expect that to continue.
Well, I do too. I think, Ivisic was the one that they really pinned. He was the one that they really kind of took advantage of in that game. Not him exclusively, but they certainly did early. And to the point where, Cal had to take him out and put Adu in. So I think they're going to challenge Zvonimir. I would expect that to happen right off the bat. Maybe their first possession. I would expect them to try to take the ball right at him. And he's the one guy, if you talked about all SEC a little bit ago, if he'd been a little bit more physical inside, averaging over 2 blocks a game, he might have been on the all-defensive team. I think he's going to be challenged tomorrow.
Yes, Edward.
Adu had a double-double against South Carolina last time, so I think we'll see that again. 10-10, 2 steals, no blocks, but he did have a little foul trouble too. Had 4 fouls.
Yeah. I mean, look. Honestly, and I know there were a lot of things that happened inside in that game, and them having a player dominate you like that inside it gets the focus. But we can't forget that you could have put a toilet right in front of Arkansas and said drop a ping pong ball in it, and they would have missed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there wasn't making a shot that day.
Mm-hmm. Vivid imagery there.
Did you like? I was wondering, okay, I know what I want to say.
I didn't know where that was
what
going.
Is the imagery going to be?
Right.
And I
hit it.
I mean, look, on short notice, I thought it was okay. You can give me some more. Go ahead. There's the ocean. Just hit it. You can't make it right off the deck.
I'm going to let that stand on its own.
Off the deck of the cruise ship. They could drop a ball and it wouldn't have landed in the ocean.
Yeah,
it would have somehow came right back to them.
On track. I think you're right on track.
That was incredible. I've never seen anything like that.
Well, you don't expect that to happen again, for sure. You never know, but I doubt it.
I mean, Chive TV wouldn't even want to air that. I mean, it was worse than it can't even make it on there.
Yeah.
By the way, are we gonna put up a stink here about no Arkansas players being on the SEC team? I mean, Chuck just basically said last segment, well, whatever. There's a bunch of good players in the SEC. Does anybody really want to gripe though? I mean, he's not wrong, but does anybody really want to gripe? Like, I don't, like, is there any anger in here? Anybody frustrated? Anybody want to create some waves? Are we going to be that organization, or are we going to leave that to, like, Drive Time Sports?
Here's all I'll say. Thero should have made one of the teams, probably the third team all SEC. There are a lot of really great players in this league. Thero's had a great year. He certainly should have made it over, like, 37-year-old Chad Baker-Mazara. Like, I don't think 25, 26-year-olds should be eligible for all SEC honors. At that point, you're a professional. Look, it's time to go pro in something other than sports, Chad. Come on, let's go.
They need a geriatric.
Is
team.
that if that ad plays in the NCAA tournament this year? Surely it's not going to.
I hope it does. I hope it does during an Auburn game.
That's like a 10-year-old ad. And, it might be, hey, some of these guys don't ever want to leave now.
Did you see this story, by the way? It reminded me. Somebody sent me a text on this late last night, so I didn't read it until this morning. If you send me a text after 9, I'm probably not going to see it. Livy Dunn signs multi-million-dollar NIL partnership with a company called Passes. And Passes is a platform that allows athletes to show content, creators to create revenue streams by offering fans access to exclusive content and experiences. Passes allows me to monetize my creativity and expertise in ways that were previously unavailable to college athletics, which is why I'm so excited to be partnering with them.
That's exciting.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, are you signing up for that? Are you signing up to, like, you want to see Livy Dunn go to lunch?
No.
Not particularly.
Do you want to see?
But I don't live to be a social media influencer.
Well, here's what's a little interesting to me is that, like, that's what social media is right now. Okay, so you have all the platforms, and for Chuck, that's Facebook. But for other people, it's by the way, another aside, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, all these. Okay, somebody said to me yesterday, do you think, like, Chuck, you're a topic of conversation in my daily life, and they're like. Anytime somebody in your contacts joins Snapchat, if you're on Snapchat, you get a notification. Bart Pullman just joined Snapchat. And it's getting to the point where too many old people that I know, my age and older, are getting on Snapchat. And it was mentioned to me that we should keep you away.
Yeah.
That it could be dangerous for you.
No, I'm not doing Snapchat. And I'm starting to waver on Facebook even right now.
Is that right? That's right? Your relationship with Facebook is on the rocks?
I may go non-social media.
Not your Facebook relationship, but your relationship with Facebook is on the rock. All of Facebook is on the rocks.
Yes, generally speaking.
Well, keep us updated.
Generally speaking.
Keep us updated on that.
I will. Thank you.
But I real quick, I just wonder, like, the content that social media has been getting for free, like, do athletes, celebrities have enough sway to create, like, if there's another platform, like, the only way you get to see in my life is if you're paying for it.
Evidently so.
And apparently there's a market for that. Beyond OnlyFans, apparently, for athletes.
I don't know what to say about any of this, because it's just it's amazing to me that they can be paid as much as they're paid to do what they do. It just I don't even know how to respond.
Speaking of things that cost money, taxes cost money. Or you could get a refund, but you want to know which side of that you're on. That's why you use H&R Block. They got 70 years of tax prep expertise that can go to work for you. H&R Block, here for you and bailing you out on the Chuck and Bo Show. It's 8:15, Dane Bradshaw, SEC Network, coming up next. I'm not telling you that everything's great. I'm also not willing to say everything's terrible.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The
doors are open, and it's a new era of elegance. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry has unveiled its stunningly redesigned 8,500 square foot showroom for an unmatched luxury experience. There's breathtaking jewelry, of course, expert service, and private viewing rooms designed for comfort. And they've got an in-house cafe with handcrafted coffee to go along with a special coffee table book celebrating Arkansas's heritage. Because it's more than jewelry, it's your story at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business, and they've been serving the state since 1989. They're good folks, and you can get a free car wash by texting Splash Arkansas to 22322. That's Splash Arkansas to 22322.
Ready or not, it is tax season. But luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
There's nothing we enjoy saying more than I told you so.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Hey, do y'all know what time it is?
It's about 2:30.
Summertime.
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha.
Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha's tees, flags, bases, loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs.
Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479-STADIUM.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store.
South of the North Pole.
Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're losing the gist of what I'm saying.
I'm not.
You're
I
losing.
am not, but I had a moment to pounce on a great moment, and I did. I agree with you, and I love you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, Chuck's in Nashville for the SEC tournament. Dane Bradshaw has been calling games for the SEC all year long and in studio with some analysis, and he's joining us. SEC Network's Dane Bradshaw here on the Chuck and Bo Show on the Tuesday before the SEC tournament. Dane, thanks for making time for us.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
Man, doing great. Doing great. Hey, what do you think of Arkansas? Like, do you think they're in? Or do they got to win a game here at the tournament?
No, I think they're in, and gosh, I think the last time I was talking with you guys, Chuck was trying to be a voice for reason. I'm not sure anybody was trying to hear it. I mean, it was whatever the winless start was, and sky was falling, and I was like, you were just trying to tell everybody what a difference a win can make. I'm not sure that you knew it was, or anybody knew that win was going to be at Kentucky. But my gosh, how that win just catapulted their entire season. Not that it went flawless after that, but it showed that it wasn't just a one-hit wonder. And if you would ask me early in the conference play, would I be more surprised if Arkansas did make the tournament than didn't? I would have said, yeah. I mean, I'd be more surprised if they did. I just didn't think this was a team, even before Boogie Fland, that was going to do enough in the SEC. A lot of that's not a knock on them, but they were just trying to find their identity. I thought the rest of the league was so good, but give them credit that they've won some big time games. And so, yeah, I think they're in. I think they've done enough. And obviously, those non-conference games, sometimes it's about when you catch teams. And they were able to get Michigan, and that win has continued to play out extremely well for them. Georgia's a team that beat St. John's early in the year. That was a good win. That's turned out to be a phenomenal win. So things like that go your way when, however, I'll say this, with that South Carolina game, you don't want to lose South Carolina twice. So I think they're safely in, but boy, you don't want to have two losses to South Carolina on your resume.
Hey, Dane, as a former player, I would imagine you've got a pretty good understanding of what can happen when a team comes together. And even if some of your better players have gone down, when a team comes together, things can really happen your way. And I just wonder if that's one of the things you've seen with Arkansas over the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I've seen it both sides. I've seen teams come together, and I've witnessed teams falling apart. And a lot of that is things that you maybe can see on the court with effort, energy, but a lot of it's things you can't see. It's the team bus rides. It's the quiet locker rooms, guys going their own separate way. And based on what I can see with this Arkansas team, I mean, they genuinely seem to be happy for one another. And I think with a new team, and it's not unique to Arkansas, but every roster is different, even if so many rosters are similar in terms of being new. But, it's different personnel, and it takes guys like John L. Davis a little while to get acclimated more than you expected. But what I loved is just how happy they seem to be for one another when Adu starts having a good game, when Davis starts making shots, or whatever it might be. And so just the things that I see on the court, both when I've called games and just on TV, that seem to be a togetherness. You would know better than me. You're much closer to it. But I think just learning those roles, and a lot of times, even as those roles are starting to be defined, sometimes in January or so, it's still too early for players to accept them because they're like, no, I'm just going to get out of this funk, and I'm going to be this guy or that guy. And then after a while, it's like, hey, this guy's playing ahead of me. It just is what it is. I got to be the best teammate I can be coming off the bench. Let me be supportive and wait for my opportunity. I think Arkansas has had some really good individual stories and just a team mindset.
Dane, Bruce Pearl deservedly SEC Coach of the Year. I made a comment a while back, like Calipari should be in the conversation. Not that he should win SEC Coach of the Year, but just bringing attention to what I think has been a remarkable coaching job this year. I'm curious what your thoughts are on Cal and this team and what they've been able to overcome with that 0-5, 1-6 start in SEC play. What does that tell you?
Yeah, I think if you had to do somewhat like monthly awards, Coach of the Month, I think Calipari would probably get recognition for some of those because of what you talked about. Like it is hard, and that award should certainly go to a coach that like Bruce Pearl or maybe even Todd Golden or Coach Byington just throughout the course of the season. But you do have to give a ton of credit to coaching jobs that, hey, it was looking like rock bottom, and how hard it is to keep a team motivated together and get them improving throughout the course of the season. So it might not look as pretty on paper and with their record, but I think any coach would tell you, hey, that's oftentimes harder to do to come back from that sort of start in SEC play than it is when you're at the top and the other target's on your back, but at least you've got a motivated, hungry, together team that's not so much of a work in progress. They've already got that well-oiled machine, and Calipari didn't have the well-oiled machine, didn't have the continuity, and yet his teams continue to get better as the season goes on. And that was never, as you guys know, like that wasn't the knock on him at Kentucky those last few years. To me, it was never about like, hey, are his teams getting better? I thought they were getting better. It was just that they didn't play their best when it mattered most in March. And I'm sure he's looking to try to rewrite some of that narrative here for Arkansas.
Hey, Dane, Cal talked about during the season about how as tough as the league is this year, part of what a coach has got to do is lift kids up after losses because you've generally lost to a really good team. That seems to be a common denominator around the league. We were talking about this, how there's not been any coach in the league throw his team under the bus. They've all been real encouraging with their teams, and it just seems to me the gauntlet this year in the SEC has been unlike anything we've seen before, and how a coach handles the teams maybe changed a little bit.
Yeah, and I remember Coach Kyle saying this at Kentucky a couple years back. We were at a shoot-around. He was like, every game can feel so big to us because, again, they often use, well, we're everybody's Super Bowl, this and that. But in the SEC this year, it seems like every game has been a huge game, a ranked matchup. And his point was, like, the psychology around it is I can't put this much pressure on every single game or it'll just exhaust the players. And another coach speak way to go about it is, trying to treat every game the same. We're going to prep the same. But I think to your point, it just, even if there were going to be sellout crowds or, there was going to be a promotion with a whiteout or a checkerboard, whatever it is, I think the players could feel that hype, but as a coach, you just got to keep that level-headed approach, win or lose, because, look, there's going to be other opportunities coming your way. You got to make sure that one loss doesn't create a second loss. I thought that was when Arkansas beat Kentucky. I believe Kentucky right after that went down and lost at Ole Miss, if I'm not mistaken. And now they've bounced back and they've won some huge games. But that's kind of an example of, hey, don't let that one loss be so deflating that it causes you to lose that second game as well. And so that's where I think these coaches across the league have really had to focus in on and keep these guys encouraged. And then, behind the scenes, a big part of it too, I bet there's a lot of guys that they'd really like to jump their butt a little bit more than they would have, but they're like, look, this guy's going to hit the transfer portal the minute, and this and that. So there's a nurturing component to these relationships of, all right, these guys can be out of here in a minute as soon as the season's over, and I don't want them to be so discouraged that they don't even give us a chance to have a postseason conversation with the head coach.
Dane Bradshaw, SEC Network college basketball analyst. Dane, look, a lot of good teams in the SEC. I just wonder, like, when you watch Arkansas, and it's been a work in progress, and it's been Jekyll and Hyde at times. But when you look at this team and you see them play well, I mean, what kind of run? I'm not talking about the SEC tournament necessarily, but, like, is this a team that has enough to do some damage in March?
Well, I think some of it is why not. You've seen them go on the road at Auburn, have a chance to win that game. You've seen them go on the road and win against Kentucky. And so, yes, it has been some ups and downs, but can they get red hot at the right time and string together consecutive victories? And to me, that answer is yes. I think that the talent is there, and can they go to different lineups based on the matchup is one of my big concerns. Like, I've just seen at times where, hey, they got to have Big Z in there to help their offense, but then the other team might have a just big bruiser down low and you're giving up too much defensively, those sort of things. So that's where I was so encouraged by Jonas Adu. What he have, 20 and 10 last game?
Yeah.
And a few blocks. you talk about having just an inspiring, motivating carryover performance. I've seen it. This isn't like some guy, a reserve that had the game of his life. Like, this is a guy that's had double-doubles throughout his career that I picked to be at least second-team All-SEC this year because he's always been on the fringe of the best bigs. You guys know his story. He had the injuries. Then he lost some confidence. But, he's hit some big free throws down the stretch. I think that was maybe the Texas game. But just different things that he's done here in February leading into March that, to me, that is just such a big component to allow Arkansas the flexibility and versatility to say, hey, we can beat you with Big Z lineup, but then when we go to our bench, we're not getting worse, we're getting better. And I think Adu is just such a critical piece to that.
Dane, good stuff, man. Appreciate you hopping on with us. Always enjoy the conversation and appreciate the time.
Thank you, Dane.
Yeah, good luck to the Hogs, man. Thank you, guys.
All right, man.
All right.
Talk soon. Dane Bradshaw. Gosh, you're getting old, Chuck, when you remember a guy playing, and now he's been an analyst for, a decade.
Yeah, it was funny to hear him talk about how, coaches are more nurturing now. I'm sure when Dane played,
Right.
I'm sure when I guess it was Pearl at Tennessee that he played for.
That's exactly right.
I'll bet Pearl just rode him like a rented mule because I wouldn't imagine he was concerned about whether or not Dane was going to leave or not.
Well, it's that time of year where having some stamina and being able to play day after day is going to matter with these teams. But you're doing that every day in life. And if you don't have that stamina, you're wondering why not. The Sweat and Edge can help you out. It can help you evaluate where you are with not only your testosterone and hormone levels, but really whatever else is going on with you. As guys, we don't take care of ourselves or think about this enough. We just try to power through. But get your labs checked and see where you might be deficient, because there is an avenue to feel better every day, completely healthy, and one that can be monitored to give you your best day-to-day life. The Sweatnum Edge, log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com, or you can just Google the Sweatnum Edge. It's a free evaluation to get checked out and get a potential game plan together that can help you feel better every day. The Sweatnum Edge, the Chuck and Bo Show. Back in a minute on Tuesday. It's 8:32. Good morning.
That's the actual question. What the hell's going on around here?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
You want to talk about washed? You're being brainwashed by idiots. You're following idiots.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Well, I'm with you, so I mean, I cherish every.
There we go. There we go.
It's charitable every moment, as you said earlier. It's cherishable.
No, yeah.
My time is cherishable.
No, Tommy, it's charitable, not charitable. It's charitable.
Yeah. Weekdays from 9 to 11,
only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Hey, do y'all know what time it is?
It's about 2:30.
Summertime.
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha.
Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha tees, flags, bases, loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs.
Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479-STADIUM.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store.
South of the North Pole.
Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go
Hogs.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Do you adhere to a budget, Chuck?
Not as well as I should.
Yeah, same.
Some people are like that.
I admire those people. I'm
not one of
I
them.
need to get on that plane.
I need to get on that plane.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Budget can be better if you get your taxes done right and maybe get a tax refund. H&R Block can help you with that. By the way, I need to call Hog Trough Gutters. Hog Trough Gutters, hoggutters.com, Chuck. I got some standing water. So, which means it's just coming down the side of the house. We can't have standing water right there outside of the house. And so I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to send it to Mike at Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated. All their work comes guaranteed a 20-year warranty, over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching, and French drains. And I know this, and I keep looking at this spot. And I'm a typical guy, and I haven't done anything about it. And I just keep saying to myself, I'll do something about that tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, and what happens? You go to Nashville. I got extra work to do, like put Bart's cutout in your chair. Actually, I didn't do that, but that is in there. It looks great. But hoggutters.com, Hog Trough Gutters, serving Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, even if they may be outside of the area that you're listening to us in another area. They'll do you a favor. If you just snap a picture, whether you're inside our area, outside the area, snap a picture, send it to them via text. You can go to hoggutters.com and you'll get the number right there. Hey, what's the issue here? For me, I think I just need a drain that comes out and maybe goes down the driveway. It doesn't just sit there in like the flower bed. It was a flaw designed by the house, by the builder of the house. That's my guess.
I guess.
And I need to get it fixed. And I didn't.
Well, at least you know what to do.
Yeah.
At least you got a guy.
Yeah. So hogcutters.com. Yeah, they can help you out. By the way, other things to help out here. Did you have something on that, Bart?
No,
Are you do you want to come over and take a look at it and see if I need to call Hog
really
Gutters?
is
Bart's
well
handy,
done.
by the way. Bart's handy.
I know.
I
Bart
could probably
can
come
fix
over there. I could probably come over there and tell you what you need to do. Yeah.
By the way, I haven't been looking at this stream. Chuck's live on the stream. For those of you watching on YouTube or streaming on Twitter or wherever else we have the show, I'm looking at Chuck, and I haven't really seen this all day. There's a lot of ceiling. There's a little bit of Chuck and a lot of ceiling.
I can't get the angle exactly the way I want.
Well,
I don't know exactly
yeah,
how
you
this
need like a
works.
stand. Yeah,
It's driving me crazy.
it's challenging. You need like a stand. But I have another public service announcement, and I'd like to give Flow. That's way better, by the way, Chuck. Good job. I'd like to give Flow TV. I'd love to give. Look at that. Now you lean up, and you're right in this. You're right in the frame. That's fantastic. Flow TV has figured out cancel. They have figured out the canceling of their subscription, and I'd like to applaud them for that.
Finally
it sounds
figuring it
terrible, but actually it's helpful because now I'll sign up for random monthly moments of Flow TV if I need to watch something there. But
How did you discover this?
I had this moment last night as I'm going to bed, so I clicked on the app, on the Flow TV app, and I just said, let me see if you can actually take 3 steps and cancel this thing. And you go to your subscription, manage your subscription, then you do have to scan a QR code in your phone. You click on it, and it goes right to one of the options is cancel your subscription. And then they wanted to know why.
Oh.
Yeah, they gave me a list of things. Not enough content, leaving temporarily and coming back. And there were 5 other options, and I put not enough good content. Because it's just for the baseball series.
Again, about the exciting new content that they have coming on Flow Sports.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, coming to me. Then I got to unsubscribe from those emails.
You'll have to unsubscribe to all that.
I mean, that's all doable.
They
but
got you.
My Flow TV, yeah, I hear you. My Flow TV subscription, though, is null and void. I have until April 2nd to change my mind.
That's quite an accomplishment, really.
I just want people to know that they also can cancel much easier than they could 2 or 3 years ago when we couldn't
Bo
figure
can
out.
do it.
Anybody can. Lane in Cave City, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Lane, are you still there?
I think Lane's long gone.
Yeah, I think Lane held for 30 minutes, was still on the screen, and wasn't there any longer. But
He's in fact gone.
He's in fact no longer there. You can get in here, 877-377-6963. If you want to text or call the show. Bart, we don't have a line on the game yet in the Chevy Situation Room, do we?
No.
We'll
No,
have
no.
that later this afternoon on Oaklawn Sports.
Probably this evening, definitely by tomorrow morning.
What, in your expert opinion, do you think will be the line in the South Carolina game tomorrow?
I would expect the Hogs to be favored by 5.5, 6.5.
Okay.
Maybe even 7.5.
That's what I thought too.
Wow.
6.5.
Okay. And do we think Arkansas, win or lose, will be any worse? I have a new question. Any worse than a 10 seed in the NCAA tournament?
Could they be any worse than a 10 seed? Yes, certainly. Like don't go out and get embarrassed by South Carolina again. Period. Don't do that.
I think if they beat South Carolina, they're a 10 seed. I don't think losing to Ole Miss knocks them back to 11.
No. I look, I don't think Arkansas is going to move beyond a 10 seed, meaning moving up to a 9 seed, 8 seed, unless they win the whole thing. I think they're pretty well locked at 10 or 11 seed.
I think so too.
By the way, I saw this news yesterday, and it didn't really hit me that Kevin Keats, North Carolina State coach, was fired. And it didn't really resonate with me that he just went to the Final Four.
Yeah, I
What
mean,
happened
it was kind of a fluky Final Four
They
run.
wanted to fire him last year.
They wanted to fire him last year, heading into the ACC tournament. They were a low seed. They went through the ACC tournament and ended up winning the whole thing. It's the only way they got into March Madness.
So he bought himself a life last year.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like playing Super Mario Brothers and got a 1-up.
Okay.
They won 9 in a row, if I remember right. They won 5 and 5 at the ACC tournament, and then made it to the Final Four. But everyone thought when they went to the conference tournament they were going to lose their opener and Keats was going to get fired the next day. And then all of a sudden they're in the Final Four.
So he didn't really, it on the surface, it was like, oh, that guy went to the Final Four, had a bad year, got fired a year later. What really happened is it wasn't going well. And
it wasn't going well.
He pulled out a Hail Mary.
Correct.
And it saved him a year. And then they went back to being, hey,
what they were.
We can get back to you now. Now
the
you're
word
fired.
Bart used fluke, I'll bet came up in the Board of Trustees meeting.
Well, I mean,
that's the kind of vernacular that flies around on the Board of Trustees
No, I'm
meeting.
serious. I guarantee it.
No, you're probably right. All right, we're gonna hit a break. Chuck and Bo show. It's 8:46. It's Tuesday. The Hogs play tomorrow in Nashville for the SEC tournament. Tonight it's baseball at 6:00 at Baum-Walker Stadium.
Bo, you said something interesting. I don't think you meant to, but when you talked about those...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, GUTTERS.com.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, PRECIDENT. We'd love to help.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Bo, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Hunting for a fortune? X marks the cash. 5 new lottery scratchers are loaded with prizes and waiting to be discovered. Multiply your prize 10, 50, up to 200 times. Ticket prices range from $1 to $20. Top prizes start at $5 grand and go all the way to $500,000. Find the X and find the cash. Available now at lottery retailers. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Nukes. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover. A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're telling me it's not about me.
Well, not entirely. No, don't misunderstand me. It is all about you, but maybe not quite to the degree that we might hope.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
John Calipari's Razor's Edge was on Vice last night. John Rothstein, college basketball reporter, said this.
I think at this point he's used to it because, for so many years, John Calipari has been somebody who has thrived in the fishbowl. He's somebody who has thrived, obviously, when a storm was going on, and I think he has been at his best when there was all these ancillary things going on around him. We saw it at UMass, we definitely saw it at Memphis, and we saw it at Kentucky, and now we're seeing it at Arkansas.
Thriving with that spotlight and that attention. I've just been, I'll say it again, so impressed with when you get somebody like Cal who's had all the success, all the attention, all the accolades. For him to have handled the adversity to not going well as he has held this team together and put them in a position for the most important time of the year, and we'll see how it goes from here.
I'll go back to the night he was introduced. Just the entire event that night. I got to admit, I was really nervous. I'm not, I think, overstepping my bounds when I say I know Hunter was nervous. The only guy that wasn't nervous that night was Cal. I mean, it was just another day at the office for him. And it's been that way just from that moment on. Every single day, it's been like that. Now, one thing to consider, those Kentucky people are going to flock in here today. And Arkansas is going to play at noon tomorrow. And there's going to be a lot of Kentucky fans that are there just to boo John Calipari. Because this is the Kentucky Invitational. Arkansas sold more tickets this year than they have in a while. But it's still the Kentucky Invitational. A lot of those people are going to be there to boo Cal. And if Arkansas wins tomorrow and then plays Ole Miss on Thursday, it's going to be even worse. So he's going to be in the spotlight. He's always in the spotlight. But as I've said before, he's immune to all that. Whether it's a critic, whether it's somebody that heaps praise on him, he's just immune to all of that. He kind of floats in his own little universe, and I mean that in a good way. And sometimes things like that can really serve you well.
Well, the Kentucky fans came out of the woodwork yesterday with his comment about the SEC tournament not mattering, which from a coach's perspective, it doesn't matter. His point was correct in terms of versus the NCAA tournament.
What, they won it 6 times
when
he was there?
I love how he told you. I don't
8
care.
appearances.
That's why we won it so many times. He said that immediately thereafter. Bart's in the Situation Room. Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room with a pro Razorback update.
Yeah, so the MLB Spring Breakout Showcase is coming up. This is when teams put together rosters of their top prospects, and they all play a game or two against another team. The Razorbacks 10 players on those rosters. That's tied for the most among college programs. 3 on the White Sox alone. Hagen Smith, Peyton Paulette, Michael Turner, all making the White Sox roster.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And 2 more with the Cubs, Jackson Wiggins, Christian Franklin. So 5 on Chicago teams.
All right, the showcase.
Yeah.
When is it?
This weekend.
Okay. Another what to watch we'll get into tomorrow as we look ahead. Arkansas tomorrow at noon. Chuck, I hope you enjoy Nashville today.
Well, I plan to. I'm looking down on Broadway as we speak. It's coming to life.
Well, live music's already underway on Broadway at this moment.
Yeah. We have an omelet and some music.
Hopefully that's it. Chuck and Bo show back tomorrow.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business, and they've been serving the state since 1989. They're good folks.